Hey everybody, welcome back to Astro Lady Tarot. My name is Anna. Today I don't have a lot of time, but I do feel like I have something to say about a recent thing that happened to me in connection to a client while I was doing a tarot reading for them online. So yeah, there's gonna be some tips in this video, some thoughts, some contemplations. So let me know what you think of all of this in the comments, all right? I was reading with the Thoth deck, my Dutch Thoth deck, um, which has a very special place in my heart. The reason I chose this one actually for all my Patreon readings in the month of June was simply because I feel like summer is just around the corner. It's definitely not here yet in the Netherlands, although sometimes we have some sun rays, but I feel like getting back into doing some inner child work, which is how I interpreted Tarot Throwback last year and 2 years ago. And this was one of my decks, obviously, because I interpreted it as the decks that I could have had at the age of 15, I think, approximately, kind of like hashtag 1998. So a very standard Rider-Waite-Smith would have definitely been an option. Here we go with the yellow light, anyway. And very standard Thoth would have been an option as well. Crow's Magic Tarot. Never actually saw that in a store, but it's copyrighted 98. And then, of course, Tarot of a Moon Garden, which I also have right here, which without a doubt would have been my favorite deck as a kid. Just the color palette of it. I was obsessed with these pastel blue, pastel purple, and just the nighttime starry night dream world. Very, yeah, very fantasy like, which was obviously a thing in the 90s. Okay, so I chose Toth, which out of all of those decks, to me, is the one with the most stern voice, if you know what I mean. Also, I have a greenie deck. That one is much more soft to me, I feel. And this one is very, I've had some issues with it. It's been a little bit punching me when I'm already down kind of thing. But on the other hand, we also made up and it's fine. And actually, it was great doing readings with this deck for clients. What happened though is I cried. I started I got emotional when I pulled a certain card for a client. I'm gonna try to find it for you real quick. It's not even that super emotional of a card, although when you think about it, actually it totally is. So, okay, it's the Eight of Cups, okay? Lord of Indolence. It's a beautiful card, in my opinion. I absolutely love the way it was depicted. And you can imagine these deep, dark waters, they are thick with mud. And it feels walking through that, because that's apparently your quest in this card. It feels like walking through this thick liquid like molasses. So you can imagine the strain it puts on your body. And when you're already emotionally emptied, I guess, when you're already emotionally struggling, then putting yourself in this position, it's not fun. And it feels like it takes up all of your strength. And maybe it does, but you know that it's necessary, right? Every tarot card is a quest. It's asking the querent to do something. It's asking the reader to get somewhere emotionally, etc. Yeah, and my response for this client's reading was not response, but reaction was yeah, I got emotional because I saw in the reading so far, I had only pulled 3 cards, including this one, I believe. I saw a bit of my own situation in it. And this is the thing. I'm a professional tarot reader, okay? I'm also a dance teacher with my own studio, so that's actually what I studied, why I came to Amsterdam in the first place. I am Dutch, but I never grew up in Amsterdam. But I've also been a tarot reader besides that. So basically, I have two professions, right? Which is very common for a freelancer, I guess. But these are two very different worlds. Although, of course, the more I get into this spirituality, the more I realize it's not another realm. Yes, of course, there's the astral realm, hence my name. Actually, that's a rock and roll song by Captain Beyond, but that's besides the point. I know about the astral realm, right? And that's where we commonly think that's where our spirituality resides or something. That's where our souls are. Except, hell no, that's not true. Spirituality is very much of the earthly plane. We probably made it up. Thing is, I do believe that we are souls. Point. End of sentence. I do believe that we are souls and we are having this human earthly experience. We came into this body. So I have a point with all this, so stick around, okay? Because this is a quote that's been going around the internet and it feels totally woo-woo. But in my opinion, there's some truth to it because it feels true and logical. I don't feel that I am my body. The more I get into tarot and spirituality as a whole, right? Let's just use the umbrella term. The more I understand, it feels like, that I am not my body. I also said a couple of times in videos, I am not my thoughts. And I'm going to get into this more. We are also not our feelings. We have a body, we have thoughts, we have our feelings. And then I guess the list goes on. But those are the main things that I want to highlight today. Because there's an age, right, in the woman, maybe not just for women, but there's an age where you feel, I'm gonna stop counting now because I'll just stay 30 or 35 forever. For some people, that's 28, 25. For me, my age where I thought, well, it's still fun, but I'm gonna stop counting now is when I turned 36, actually. I was like, that was last year. I'm an October baby. I thought, you know what? 35 sounded better. I don't look very old, so I'm gonna just keep telling people I'm 35. Except that here we are, and every time someone asks me my age, I'm honest and I say I'm 36. So that was a little funny side note, but my point that I was trying to make earlier is I keep a journal, and for the first time, I think I wrote my body turned 36. Not me. Not I turned 36. Because I didn't turn 36. My soul, who knows how old that is, okay? Don't make fun of me. I know that what this sounds like, but I feel that it has become this truth and also this sort of like obvious thing that my body turned 36 last year. Maybe that's a psychological thing that makes me feel better about it. I have no idea, but I feel like I should be, with this face, honest about my age because I tend to not get the respect that I feel any human being deserves just because I look young. How ageist of people. Anyway, I think we are souls and we have bodies. And those bodies, they keep count, you know, they change. They go through these years that we also made up, by the way. We have our bodies, we have our thoughts, which means that you can also look at your thoughts. Just like you're looking at your body, you can look at your thoughts, take a look at it, analyze it, and feel, basically assess that you are not your thoughts. You have your thoughts, which also means that you have your doubts. You have your plans. You are not your doubts. You are not your plans, to take a positive and negative. example. Same with feelings. Try to look at it as an entity. Sometimes our feelings look like this, and then that is that entity. You can look at your feelings, analyze them, feel them. Please feel your feelings, right? And assess that, yeah, you have them, but they don't define you. They are not you. So, with all of that said, as a professional tarot reader, and this is on Patreon, it's a monthly reading. And in this case, by the way, just to put it in a bit of perspective, it's not a like a Zoom or Skype call. It's I do the reading live, but then I send them the live link. So it's basically like a message in a bottle, which is our little bit of an inside joke with that person. But yeah, that's what it's kind of grown into. And we're both, appreciating that this is how it works out with our different schedules and stuff. So every month I do that for that person, long reading. And I allowed myself to cry. Actually, to be really honest, I am a sensitive gal. All right. I am. And not ashamed of it, not ashamed of being a person who has feelings. There wasn't a lot of allowing there, okay? I just got emotional and couldn't stop I couldn't stop from welling up basically in the situation. And it's not just because I saw myself in that tarot spread, because of course, this is the time that the client has requested me to, solve the tarot puzzle for them. So obviously, it's not going to be about me. But still, of course, as a reader, you take your life experience into any reading because you want that reading to be the best reading they ever got. You want to make it worth their while. And by going in it like that, I also think with every tarot reading, you become a better reader. But that's the thing, right? You have to be able to see daily life, real life, earthly, shitty life in the cards, because that's what the tarot is. It's the book of life and it's complete. So, yeah, you're going to see yourself in the cards. I started becoming emotional. I addressed it because you could obviously tell. And I kept going, kept going with the reading. And I explained why I got emotional without taking too much time. But I think it's okay because it is a professional setting, yet I don't know why I'm doing that. It is a professional setting. But the tarot is, you know what I mean? It's so full of everything. So it's not like a business interaction. It's not. It is one soul talking to another soul with their life experience, one person talking to another person, human beings. And this is nothing that you didn't know, but I'm just saying, from my experience, don't beat yourself up if you get emotional during a tarot reading that you're supposed to do for someone else. It's okay as long as you can breathe through it. Don't feel guilty. Guilt is a useless feeling. And just accept yourself as that human being, because you know what? Maybe one of the reasons that you got emotional while doing their reading is because it was an emotional thing for them as well. I don't know, because this is, like I said, a one-way interaction, but then I hear back through email, but afterwards, So it is like a message in a bottle. I just wrap it up, throw it in the sea, and it will, it actually has an address on it, if you know what I mean. But my point is, if this ever happens to you, feel that it's your authentic self expressing themselves. Feel that it's you and it's genuine and it's not dramatic. It's just a little, ooh, I really felt that. And it made me cry a little. And maybe you, the person receiving the reading, really felt that too in a similar way. I started thinking about this as a good thing, actually. This doesn't mean I'm going to start shedding tears in every reading, obviously not. But why is crying or getting emotional maybe a bad thing in my mind? Because you can be damn sure I also laugh during tarot readings. I belly laugh when you get a card and it's so, you know what I'm talking about. It can be hilarious. The tarot cards can be so bloody funny and ironic, and it's you can belly laugh during a tarot reading. Then it's still a professional thing, and it's still one person doing a reading for another person. I have also, you can be sure of that, gotten extremely angry during tarot readings. I got so angry for the person because it's just empathy also. So that's what it is. And I'm here to tell you today, with all of these separate little points that I've tried to weave together, that it's okay. It's okay, and I would even argue that it's a part of it. So, yeah. I don't want to be known as that reader who cries. But just sharing, I haven't heard people talking about this. And, maybe you should. Maybe you should share a story like this for all the people who do readings for others. Also, but that's less of a stigma, has less of a stigma on it. That's less of an issue, I guess. And that happens more often, I think, when you do readings for yourself. That's when it can get really deep, obviously, and can really hit something that you weren't aware of, and that you get caught by surprise. And I guess it's easier to have an emotional reaction when doing readings for oneself. Also, a lot of people journal. I do. It helps me think and make sense of life, to know what I'm doing, what I want to do, if it's still aligned, and just to figure things out. Really very helpful for sure. And yeah, there's a lot of emotion in there as well, obviously. But that's obvious. You know what I mean? So doing readings for someone else, it's that wonderful, actually, communication that's happening, that link, that interaction that's happening between one person and another. And you see yourself in the situation, but then you also realize that it can mean a lot to them. And yeah, I'm just saying, I think it's okay to have all of those separate doors open, to have a good reading, and to obviously still be able to give that reading. And I think I definitely was able to do the whole reading and do it well. But yes, obviously, you're opening your mind. Why not open your feelings, your heart as well? That's when you know that you truly love what you do. Mm. Because I get because I get emotional as well when I see my students dancing my choreography on stage or in the studio still rehearsing so well. I adore that. And with well, I don't mean that they do all the steps perfectly. I teach ballet, so that's hard enough. I'm talking about that you can tell that they're having fun, that you can tell that they're doing their best, that you can tell that they start to sparkle, they have that spark. And it's gorgeous. That's what I'm saying. Inhibitions, they kind of like fly away when you dance, and you lose yourself in the movement. You lose yourself in the movement, but you do. Yeah, it's a great form of therapy, actually. I still follow, or actually, I've started following again adult ballet classes. Because, yeah, I went through this thing. I had to stop moving for a second and just allow myself to be tired, allow my body to be tired for a while. And it was, and it's fine. But yeah, it's definitely therapy as well, to have a body that's tired in the good way, which then also makes you happier. It releases endorphins, it makes you sleep better, etc. Isn't it funny when you can link two different things like that? Being a dancer and doing tarot readings. It's just listening to the body. And again, in my opinion, we are not our body, we are not our thoughts, we are not our feelings. We have all of those things. and who you are. It's bloody inexplicable, and it's fabulous, baby. Okay, I think that's what I wanted to say. I have no notes for this because the idea just popped up in my head because it happened and I wanted to discuss it online. I want to end this video by stating this line that found me the other day. Just know that turning out well in life means that you are a good, kind person. So you all have a good day, have a good weekend. Let me know what you think in the comments if this ever happened to you. Stick around to check out this other video that I will link in a minute. I'll see you next time. Bye.